in South Springfield, and 20 years is our anniversary next year. The company has evolved into what it is today, which was a vision of having a one-stop shop.
You hire the best of the best.
Yes, we do. Everybody here to me is family.
Our guiding principles are:
be kind,
speak honestly,
make it simple,
act fairly,
put people over profits.
Simple solutions.
Good morning, Rogersville. Thanks for joining us once again right here on K-ROG. This is Dollars and Cents, and this is not Bruce Porter today. That's yeah, this is Roy Rickstew, one of the newest members of the Resource Center team. Good to have you with us this morning.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me on, Will.
Yeah, so we got to meet you a while back. You and your wife came to one of our estate planning seminars, and through that, we realized you had a lot of experience with the Social Security system, Medicaid, disability, things like that. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, that's correct. I had been working as an advocate for Social Security disability for about 19 years. Before that, I worked for the state, processing disability-based applications, developing claims, defending the agency in administrative hearings, that sort of thing. Made the jump when I realized how much of a struggle people were having in getting benefits, how hard it was, especially when you had folks that were struggling with terminal cancers or psychiatric disorders. It just became such a burden for those folks. And unfortunately, a lot of them drop out of the system prematurely. I thought, hey, I need to change sides of the desk.
Yeah.
And so I switched over to that advocacy role. And you're right, I've been helping with Social Security, disability, SSI, children's benefits, widows benefits. You're right that I had worked a lot of time in the past processing Medicaid type things, helping with administrative appeals on the client side of those things to help people qualify for benefits.
And you said something kind of interesting there. You said you saw people dropping out of the system prematurely. What does that mean?
Well, it's an arduous process rather to get through that system, and there's so much that's asked of those people: questionnaires, follow-ups, forms, reporting responsibilities, that sort of thing. And when you're focused on your health, it's hard to add that extra burden in. Right. And so a lot of those people are rejected for failure to cooperate issues or for lack of development issues or what have you. They don't follow all the steps that they need to follow, and so they fall out. They get denied.
And it's really just a procedural or paperwork issue.
Most of the time it is.
So that's where someone like you can really come alongside them and help, because obviously almost 20 years of experience of making sure all the T's are dotted and I's are crossed, so to speak, kind of what folks need.
Yeah, that's correct. Obviously you want to have a fair shake, and to get a fair shake, you have to follow through with their process and their steps, and make sure that you keep your claim on that level that they need it to be on to continue processing. Additionally, you want somebody who's going to push the issue, right? And so someone who's current on your medical records, that develops it out, keeps track of what's going on a visit-by-visit basis, to where you're prepared to make the best argument you can at any junction that you're given to try to push that. You want to keep the ball in their court, and you want to be pressing that ball as often as you can. Unfortunately, a lot of people who do what I do, they kind of treat this like a college course, and that they crash at the end. They do this big study a couple days before the hearing. Sometimes people don't even talk to their representative until a day or two before the hearing.
Wow.
My belief is to stay on top of things, stay current, know what's going on, so that any opening we get, we can push.
Right. And then now, as of a few months ago, you're part of the Resource Center team. Your office is in the Resource Center there with Bruce Porter.
That's correct. I started over there on February 1st. Been busy since then. Looking to grow my workload, my clientele, obviously. But I am located in the Resource Center. That's my base of operations. And happy to be there.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you, because I hang out there every once in a while too. You may have seen me in the halls. So just to kind of refocus just a little bit, your practice is centered on folks that are disabled for some reason or the other, either mentally, physically, illness, injury, and are therefore qualified or may be qualified for Social Security disability insurance payments.
Yeah, that's correct. And, we as a society, we kind of have this notion that disabled means wheelchair, walker, that sort of thing. Disabled really doesn't go quite that far. It doesn't have to go quite that far.
Okay.
The answer to this question is people who are unable to work or to work competitively or full-time in the workforce. I have clients who are working. As long as they're making less than about $1,350 a month, there's still an opening for Social Security. But essentially any condition that limits or affects your ability to be a part of the workforce are folks that I want to talk to. Don't have to be confined to a wheelchair in order to apply. And you're right, psychiatric disorders as well. fall into that realm. A lot of people struggle with the workforce, and that's why we're here.
Sure. So how much does it cost for someone to come and see you, and help? Maybe you help them understand. Maybe they think they have a claim, not sure. What can they expect on your side?
Well, certainly the consultation is free. Sit down, look at your case, talk with you about your medical records, give you an honest assessment of whether or not you have a legitimate claim. I don't want to waste anybody's time. If they need to be looking at other avenues, then they'll look at other avenues. The folks that I can't help, I'll give you some advice on where Social Security would likely place you or tell you to go look for an opportunity employment-wise. Consultation is free. Service is contingency-based, so there's no upfront cost, no retainer fees. We have to win. And you have to have touch it, feel it cash, as I say, before we're able to settle up. And so everything's deferred to the very end. It's a percentage of the past due or retroactive benefits, and it's 25%. Social Security mandates that. They oversee that.
Yeah, that's set by the government, what the fee is there. So yeah,
That's correct.
Okay. What else should I ask you today, Roy? Anything? Are we covered everything pretty good?
Yeah, that's pretty well the gist of it. But I am looking to grow my clientele and expand our office. So certainly if you have questions, feel free to give me a call anytime. The number I think will probably appear on your screen.
882-1800. Yeah, we can drop that in the comments. Sure.
The other thing that I'll pass out to folks is that we're doing disability workshops. We're going to do seminars, kind of cover the programs that are available, talk with folks a little bit about some of the common pitfalls and claims, tips, tricks, advice on how to kind of proceed, things to watch for. Again, I want to make sure folks have a fair shake. Seminars, workshops are free, no cost, no obligation. Not going to give you the hard sell, anything like that.
When's the first one of those coming up?
So it's going to be pretty well a standing appointment. It's every Thursday at 2:30, and the first and third Thursdays at 6 o'clock. So this week will be a 6 o'clock meeting in addition to the 2:30. We do ask that you call an RSVP. We want to make sure everybody has a seat. We don't want any standing room only type situation.
So tomorrow night then is your first one?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night both if we have folks to come.
Okay. And so if you're interested in learning more about the disability process, call the Resource Center and tell them you want to come hear Roy talk about that. It's 882-1800. And if you have questions, as always, you can send them in right here to K-ROG at info@krogtv.com. And we'll be back with more. I think the mom show is coming back on Friday morning, so Cassie's back.
One other thing, if I may, Will.
Please.
We have a lot of clients, doctors, physicians out there that have folks in their workload that may need to talk to somebody about Social Security disability. Certainly give them our contact information, but we are certainly open to the physicians calling in and scheduling a spot for their patient as well.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, thanks. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and the Resource Center, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet a particular need of an individual situation. The Resource Center, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this podcast shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein, provided by third parties, have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by the Resource Center, Inc. This podcast is a paid placement.